All right, Black Power is the General Sarasu Seti, and I'm black at y'all ass again with this real fucking talk. Y'all know what it is, Patreon, General Sarasu Seti, that exclusive General Seti shit you can't see on YouTube. Got the live stream on my Patreon, classic information that I dropped just to show you how much I love you. Go check it out and be amazed. Patreon, General Sarasu Seti, KingSeti.com, online marketplace. Fly African products, Kemetic products, t-shirts, DVD, official General Sarasun Seti DVDs, classics, got Kemetic jewelry, African jewelry. We got some of everything on there for the family. Go check it out and be amazed. All right, and for the family out there, if it's too hardcore to go on YouTube, if it's just too hardcore to go on Patreon, you got to go over to the General Sarasu Seti, GeneralSeti.com. Seti University got over 500 videos over there, classic wisdom of the ages. You need to have it in your collection. You got to have access to that, guaranteed to shock the mind. Believe that. Now, what we dealing with today is the Kemetic Judaic secret worship of volcanoes. They say, man, where that nigga Seti be gone? This nigga be all over the place. Got to drop the science, family. I can't just, I got to teach you. I got to reach you. I got to teach you and reach you. And so I got to drop nothing but the facts as I know it today. I know family will be creeping in as we do this. I don't, and they just gonna have to catch up. You know what I'm saying? As we do this. Now, see, when we dealing with the pyramid, matter of fact, that's what I needed to throw in there. Let me throw that pyramid. Let me throw that pyramid on in there. You feel me? Right here. Drop it on me. Drop it on me. Drop it on me. Boom. All right. Let me put it on up here. I know family gonna be creeping in as we do our thing. And so they better have their ass, in class on time. You know what I'm saying? Because we be working out over here on the gym. You see? And so when you're looking at the pyramid, you're looking at the creation of the universe. I'm going to go into deeper, because, it's deeper occult meanings all the time. Ain't just no one particular meaning, you know what I'm saying? But there's, in this particular instance, we dealing with the creation of the universe. Now, you're dealing with, that's Khufu's pyramid, and I'll be dropping something on Khufu in a day or so. I don't know if it's tomorrow or the day after, but I'll be, dealing with the great grandmaster Khufu, who is responsible for the greatest megalithic structure that ever been created on the planet Earth. You understand? No one gonna ever come close unless it's another African, and they're gonna take his ass damn near 100,000 years worth of probably more than that. Shit, probably gonna take about 200,000 years of development to even learn how to do it again. You see what I'm saying? And so you're looking at the greatest megalithic structure was constructed, so they say, around about 2600 BC, before the cracker. You see what I'm saying? And so when you look at that, even if you deal with the number 2600 B, nigga, that's the end date. That ain't the beginning. That ain't the knowledge, the evolution of the knowledge. Okay? And so that's just the end date. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about 2600 BC, and in that, it's an astrological or astrologically oriented architecture. You see what I'm saying? And so it is also aligned to the cosmos, sacred constellations and sacred stars. Okay, but even inside of that, the pyramid is the creation of the universe. How do I get that? Number one, pyramid, pyro, fire, house of fire, house of the sun. It's the house of the sun. And so when you understand that the pyramid is a mountain, that's exactly what it is. You understand what I'm saying? It is what they call the primeval mind. You see what I'm saying? Now, if we get into a deeper understanding, the primeval mound is the stomach of that pregnant African woman. That's the primeval mound. But see, that's the anthropomorphic. See, that's the anthropomorphic study. You understand? But now we dealing with the cosmos. We dealing with the cosmological, story of creation. And so when you look at the pyramid, we have to understand that the house of fire is what? It's the volcano. It's not just any mountain, it's a volcano. And even in that, see, once you study, let me take that up. I want to take that up. Them lines out the back. Let me select this and select and take them lines out the back. I don't want to see no damn lines. You see? Okay. Okay. We working out, y'all. You see? And so this is a volcano. And so right there, you also see the lake of fire. You see when I'm going to be doing one on the lake of fire coming up. You understand? So we can get it. It ain't got nothing to do with no damn hell. And that's what people, they always conceiving and shit. Our people looked at the sun as being holy. We ain't burning them. Ain't nobody burning or nothing. That's them damn perverted people. You understand? Creating these false. We diametrically the opposite. So we never think alike. And I don't understand why people get in a state of confusion in the believing that we never see things the same. We are diametric opposites and we always see things different. And so now I'm going to break this down for you just so you can see in creation, because we understand the 4 elements: fire, air, water, and earth. Okay? Fire, air, water, and earth. Now, what's key is that the most time that you find volcanoes, where do you find? You find them around water. Now, matter of fact, let me see the ring of fire. Let me bring this up. I'm gonna bring the ring of fire up. I like teaching. I like teaching and writing on the chalkboard. I like, some people come with I might come up with some shit while I'm teaching. Shit, that's how you know a motherfucker is on his toes. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know a motherfucker know what they know. Motherfucker go steal another motherfucker shit, put that shit in there, and then motherfucker he can regurgitate. But then when you tell a motherfucker pull out that blank sheet of paper and let's go for broke, let's, write that shit down and shit, show a nigga what you made of, motherfucker can't come up with nothing. Motherfucker can't come up with nothing at all. All right, that's a good one. I could use that. Now the ring of fire, just to show y'all, I'll throw that right there. I know it's good. I hate when them damn lines be in there. Hate that shit. Okay. And so that's the ring of fire. So that's volcanoes all the way around. You see what I'm saying? And so you see that the volcanoes more times than not is around water. You see what I'm saying? Is around water. Now, you see the fire. We talking about the elements of creation. You see the fire. You see now you the water. Now when that lava come up out of that volcano, you see what I'm saying? And it hit that water, what do it do? It's gonna steam. That's the air. You see what it's gonna steam, it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? So that's your air. And then when that water cool the lava, what does it do? It make land. So you got your fire, you got your earth, you got your air, and you got your water, situated in the concept of the volcano. And so the volcano became a symbol of creation. That's what, and then when you listen to it, Now I'm gonna give you the scientific, and then I'm gonna break it down from the cosmological. You see what I'm saying? Because when you hear that motherfucking volcano go off, boom. You see what I'm saying? And what came into existence? The four elements came into existence. The sun came up out, and it said the water is the spirit of God moved on the face of the waters, and so on and so forth. And so the four elements came into creation. So the Big Bang concept is, when that volcano went out for the first time, boom. You know what I'm saying? And in came the four elements. You see what I'm saying? From an anthropomorphic, dealing with the human aspect of the story. The Big Bang is what when the man come to his climax. You see what I'm saying? That's the Big Bang. You see what I'm saying? And then life come up out of that. You see what I'm saying? Without no bang, ain't gonna be nothing. You see what I'm saying? And so again, you see many of these. And so when you see ISIS, you see new, and then you see Shu. You see, you know what I'm saying? And you see Gaia. You see Earth. You see air. And then Ra is the fire. You see what I'm saying? And then Geb is the land. Shu is the fire. Ra is the sun. And then you got Nu, which is the woman, which is always symbolic of war. You see what I'm saying? And that's why you see Ra, what? He sails through his mother on what? The celestial Nile. That's you see the Ark of Ra sailing through Nu on the celestial Nile. So you see in the pyramid is the concept of creation. It is the primeval mind. And so when you look up in Africa, you see that many of these volcanoes are in the central East Africa. You understand? Ethiopia, even around what they call the Great Lakes region. Let me make sure. Oh yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. Right there around the great, you see right there all these red triangles represent volcano. And so this was the heartland of where the ancient Egyptians came from, the Ethiopians, in which, they came from around these regions. You see what I'm saying? And it's quite obvious because you got, these lakes, you got the criminally renamed Lake Victoria. Ain't no goddamn Victoria in no Africa. I'm sorry to tell Victoria. She ain't even got one in England. How the hell they didn't even give her one in England, let alone give her one in Africa. And so that I only say that so you can find it on the map. You understand what I'm saying? And so the criminally renamed Lake Victoria and this is fresh water. And so of course, fresh water, you got fresh water fish and all type of marine life. And so, of course, this is a gathering point for our people. It's a gathering point. And so it was, our family, when we first began to emerge in history, not to say we were, but this is where we emerged at around these lakes. And of course, being around these volcanoes, many of these spiritual myths came up, hundreds of thousands of years before Egypt even came to be. And so that's my best way of explaining to people that Egypt is a recreation of the South, which is down here near the Great Lakes. Egypt is a recreation of the South in stone, down here in the north, down north, up south, down north. When you get down here, you don't have the mountains like you have in Central East Africa and Ethiopia. You don't have the mountains. And so when you get down, they recreate, just like you see the papyrus columns and the palm columns. And all these is the areas far up the river. You understand what I'm saying? They spiritual homeland where the gods and goddesses came from. And so you see here, you see all the mountains and volcanoes. And then when you get down here in Egypt, they recreated the South down in Egypt in stone. You know what I'm saying? And then in certain areas, it is, you know, a few areas of some mountain range. Not as much as it is up south. It's not as many, you know, because when you look at Hatshepsut Temple, you know, that was carved. And then when you go into the Valley of the King, you see the earlier right there. You see how we was carving into the mountains. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, when people see the pyramids, they say, well, damn, how did they jump? You know, so, you know, like through light speed from just building small little mastabas to building great pyramid. It wasn't that they didn't have the knowledge. You got to understand, Egypt is a fairly new land for the Africans. It's just like when you first come into the land, small colonies, and you start getting larger as they, you know, migrate down the river, and you don't have the manpower. You can have the knowledge, but you don't have the manpower. So when Egypt was first starting, you know, that was the manpower so they couldn't construct. But if you go up south, where the family was, they was carving in the mountains. They always was carving in the mountains. And that's why people don't understand. They say, well, damn, where's the pyramids? They didn't have to construct the pyramid in the way they did in Egypt because they had so many mountains. And that's why a lot of our spiritual temples is still in hiding. You know what I'm saying? They don't know, they don't know where they're. And then when you go into Ethiopian places like that, I mean, Lord, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the whole country is damn near mountains. You know what I'm saying? I was flying over mountain, and man, listen here. It's like no way could you even land, or, I'm talking about for hundreds and hundreds of miles. It was just mountains in every direction in which you look. So you wouldn't even I couldn't even imagine people even being out there. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like another planet almost. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, please don't let this plane go down. You know what I'm saying? So, that was the Holy Lands. And so when you talk about altar, you get altis. Altis is the top. You see what I'm saying? Is the top. And so this area down where we call the mountainous region, that was what the Egyptians called the lands of the gods and the goddesses. This is where their gods came from. You understand what I'm saying? This was the altars. And that's why when you go up into the temple of Egypt, like each room that you leave out of one room and you go into another room, you have to go up the stairs. You're going up until you get into the last room, which is the Holy of Holies, which is the altars. This is the altar of God. You understand what I'm saying? So this was a symbolic of, the heartland of Africa where the mountains existed. You see again, so you see here, and I'm going to break this down for the family. This is why you see the arks, you know what I'm saying, in the temple or outside of the Pharaoh's pyramid. He had an ark because he was the living God. He was the Son of God who is God. You know what I'm saying? And so he would take his place in the pantheon of deities when he passed on. And so his ark would be there. So he would spiritually sail up the Nile, and which was connected to the celestial Nile. You understand what I'm saying? The earthly Nile is fed from the celestial Nile. So as you go down the Nile spiritually, you go up into the Milky Way and keep going. You see what I'm saying? And that, you become Ra, and you become one with Osiris and Isis. in the heavens. So you see the ark. Now I'm gonna break this down so you can see. Now, let me see. This is Egypt. This is the heartland. This is where the mountains is. You see what I'm saying? This is Ethiopia. This is East Africa, the highlands. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna put this in here so you can have a clear understanding. Let me make sure we're in the house. So when you see these mountains back, this is down here in the south. You see, this is the Nile River. You see what I'm saying? And you see that silk, that dark silk that come up out the Ethiopian highlands and come down. And they said for so many millions of years. That's why they call Egypt the gift of the Nile, because the silk, which is the fertilizer, that rich mud came down from up out of the highlands and came down here and settled. You know what I'm saying? When Herodotus and many of the Greeks say when they came to Egypt, shit, you know, a lot of this down here was still water. You see what I'm saying? It was water filled in over a course of thousands and thousands of years, that rich silk. And this is what made Egypt the breadbasket of the world, because that fertilizer was so rich. You understand what I'm saying? You didn't even have to plant seeds in Egypt. That shit was growing up. You know what I'm saying? They had to cultivate it and, you know, put it in section, but damn near everything was already growing down there. You know what I'm saying? So this is, and so when you talk about the pyramid, you see what I'm saying? You're gonna see that. Let me see if I need one of the good ones that show the hold on. Hold on. I need one that show the causeway so y'all can see. Because once you know that, well, this will do right here. This will do right here. This will do right here. And then the nave, you know, when you see this, see, this is symbolic of the Nile. You see right there the pyramid. You see this the pyramid, the mountains. And then that trek. That's why they in the temple is called the nave. You know what I'm saying? When you come in the door and you walk and you have to walk all the way to the end of the church, the end, and there would be the Holy of Holies. You know, and they call that processional walkway the nave, because what? You got to navigate. So that right there is this is symbolic of the mountains, and you know, in the inner regions of Africa, and this is the Nile settling down. You understand what I'm saying? And this would be the mouth of the Nile. You see what I'm saying? So here you see the mountains, with symbolic of the pyramid. You see the pyramid and you see the nave. Okay, now when you get up in there, when you go to the end, this is the end of the nave. And you see right there, this is symbolic of the Holy of Holies. This is symbolic of the pyramid. You see what I'm saying? And so symbolically, what they saying is that the gods sailed down, talking to you now, out of the highlands. You understand? The Altus, which is the highland, the altar, sailed down the river, into Egypt. Okay, so that's your symbolism. Now, let me see if I can use let me see if I can get the show you the name in the Egyptian temple. Yeah, see the beasts, breaking these beasts up. Breaking them up, waking them up. Hold on, let me show you the name. Let me show you the name. It's the same with the temple as with the pyramid. You see what I'm saying? I need one of them blowns too. Hold on, fam. I'll be always, but see, I'm gonna throw this in too, so y'all can see how other peoples around the world, how they did it. You see what I'm saying? This is how they did it. Stealing. You understand? From the Nile, though. That's why all these, this is in Teotihuacan, this is Mexico. Now, this is leading up to the sun, the pyramid of the sun in Teotihuacan. You see, this is the name. This is the, symbolic of the river. And many of them believe that this was filled with water at one time. You know what I'm saying? That they would sail up to the pyramid. And so here it is. Why, mostly all of these cathedrals is perpendicular to a river. So if you go down this processional street leading up to St. Peter's, it's a damn river down there. You see what I'm saying? Just like the pyramid. When you come down to they all are perpendicular to the Nile River. You see what I'm saying? And so this is symbolically, and then you got the pyramid just the same way. Wait a minute, let me drop them in there. I ain't gonna leave you out there. I ain't even got to the volcano dealing with the Greeks and the Greeks, the Jews, all of them. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute, hold on. And throw this in here so y'all can see. You see? It's the same thing. See, this is the causeway. You know what I'm saying? This is the mountain regions of East Africa. This is the Nile. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll have the ark. You know what I'm saying? And they'll have their ceremonies. And you know what I'm saying? Where the ark will come up out of the Holy of Holies and come down. And so you go into the Americas, it's the same way. Same science. The old Mex took that over there. Hold on. I just want to do a couple more so you can see this. This is the nave in the Christian cathedral. You see what I'm saying? When you come through the door, you have to go down the long processional. And you see right there what you see. You see in St. Peter's, it is called the throne of Peter, St. Peter, which ain't nothing but the same ceremonial, what they call that, I forget the name that they call it. But it's the same thing, but this is their symbol, and so this is called the nave. You navigate, and you navigate on the water, and you come up, and this is symbolic of the mountainous regions of East Africa. And then you got the columns. They done took the papyrus off of there because the swamps would have been in here. The papyrus swamps would have been up in there, and so when you come through and you first come in, you have the papyrus swamps up in here, which is symbolic of the hypostyle hall. That's a hall with a lot of columns in it, and they'll have the papyrus on top. That's symbolic of the papyrus. And you keep going up and in until you come here. You understand what I'm saying? And this is symbolic of the pyramid, the God to be here. This is the altar. This is the altar of God. You see what I'm saying? And so this is what it is. This is symbolic and also symbolic of the volcano. Now, let me come on in here. Let me come on in here so I can go. I'll come right back to that because that's going to back up exactly what I'm talking about. Let me come back up in here. I know I put more than that in there, but nevertheless, that's all right. You see? So when you come to the Jews, it says in Deuteronomy 4, let me put this in here. Let me make it whole. Let me make it whole. We're going to teach. Let me make it whole. And so this is the Hebrew. Okay, this is when Moses went up on the mountaintop. It said, the Lord spoke to you face to face at the mountain from the midst of fire. So when they show you, you understand what I'm saying? The Mount Sinai, they show you the smoke, they show you the lightning. You see, let me get up here. Let me get some. Let me get some. Let me get some. Let me get some. Let me go to work. See, they giving you the characteristics of the volcano. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the hidden worship of the Kemetic, you know what I'm saying? Origins of creation. You understand? These is goat herders. They don't know nothing about this. You see what I'm saying? They don't know a goddamn thing. And so all peoples took from Egypt. You see what I'm saying? Even when you get to Zeus, you see him lightning and he's sitting up on the goddamn mountain, Mount Olympus. You see what I'm saying? He's sitting up on Mount Olympus with his lightning. You see his smoke and fire. And it says Matthew 28, verse 3, and his appearance was like lightning, and his clothing as white as snow. You see what I'm saying? And so in many respects, that's the characteristic also of Zeus. You see what I'm saying? When you get here, Exodus, and you understand this is Zeus right here. And that's why they say, hey, Zeus, Jesus, hey, Zeus, Jesus, Jesus, hey, Zeus. Exodus 19:16. So it came about on the third day when it was morning that there was thunder and lightning, flashes and a thick cloud upon the mountain, and a very loud trumpet sound, so that all the people who were there in the camp trembled. Okay, there was thunder and lightning. Okay, flashes, and a thick cloud above the mountain. So in many respects, you see also in Zeus, you see aspects of Zeus, the Greco-Roman mythology in the Bible, all of them. Wait a minute, I don't know why I ain't had the rest of them in there. Let me go over there and get it. I got more. I got them in there too, but when I went in there, I said, damn, I'm kind of skinny on some of that. You know, let me take this and throw this over here. So this showing, now this is Moses on the damn mountain. This is the Hebrews down there, and he up there. You see the smoke, you see the fire, and he up there with the 10 Commandments. He no different than that damn Zeus up there on the damn mountain top. Okay? Oh, I had it right there. Okay, cool. And so Psalms 97:4 said, his lightnings lit up the world, the earth saw and trembled. You see what I'm saying? Now we got to understand again that a Jew ain't nothing but a Greek. People keep talking, ain't no thing is no goddamn Jew. A Jew ain't nothing but a Greek and a Roman. You understand? When you look at the Judaic, they ain't nothing but Greeks and Romans who have hid the ancient Egyptian plagiarism inside the Greco-Roman myths. Okay? And so again, you looking here, Zeus and Yahweh atop the mountain. You see what I'm saying? So this is Zeus, but this is Yahweh. You see what I'm saying? You see the fire, the lightning, the smoke, the dark clouds. You see what I'm saying? All the attributes of Zeus. Not only Zeus, you got Hephaestus, which was another which was another Greek Greco-Roman god, Hephaestus. You see him inside with his hammer, and he was responsible for creating the lightning bolt of Zeus and all of the armaments of the gods. He's a volcano god. You see what I'm saying? Ptah is a volcano god because under Ptah, the worship of Ptah, which he's the blacksmith. So when you talk about Hephaestus and Vulcan, that's Ptah, and the plagiarization of Ptah in the Greco-Roman pantheon. So you see him right there with the hammer, which was stolen from the mace and of the Pharaoh. You understand? You can see him in the smiting of the enemy. That's all that is the smiting of the enemy. And God beat the heavens out. That's what it said. And God, wait a minute, let me put it in here. And God beat the heavens out. You see what I'm saying? And so here it is. This is the smiting of the enemy. This is the smiting of the hammer. You see the ironsmith. So even in Thor, even in it was the dwarves, and we got to understand that Ptah was a dwarf. He was what they call, and he's not a pygmy, but he's one of the Twa. You see what I'm saying? One of the Twa, which is, and Ptah was the deity of blacksmiths. He was the deity of the masons, the mace, those who built in stone. And so again, we seeing many of these deities have been plagiarized from the African deities. When you look at God in the Sistine Chapel, that's Zeus. That's Zeus. That's all that it is. Serapis is Zeus. You understand what I'm saying? They trying to, bring the Greco-Roman worship over into Africa, and the people just didn't want to accept it. Again, we're looking at Mount Sinai. You see the fire. This is a volcano. This is symbolic of which is the pyramid. Which is the pyramid, and it ain't no doubt about it. So let me bring this over so you can see. And then we'll get off into the fire worship also. Again, showing you this is Hephaestus, a Vulcan. Now he's inside of the volcano now. He's inside of the volcano. You see? And so when you see these people, the Hebrews talking about and God, and he went up on, what are you really talking about? Let me bring this over so you can see. But all of that is symbolic of the pyramid, the house of fire. You see what I'm saying? So it shows that this developed in Africa first. They didn't have no concept. You understand? Even Mount Sinai is in Africa. A lot of people don't want to accept that fact, but Mount Sinai is in Africa. It's in the Sinai Peninsula. This is where they received their commandment. So even then, they were still in Africa when they received their commandments. They wasn't, you know what I'm saying? And Israel is in Africa. Shit, you goddamn, I showed people that. If you look at the Teutonic plate, when you look at Israel, the Porsche is about maybe 200-300 miles from the Mediterranean Sea going east. You understand? That's on the African plate. So Africa is what they call Israel today is Africa. And then even though the plate split, that's still Africa on the other side. Those were the first populations that was in that land. You see what I'm saying? So what am I saying? The pyramid is, again, volcanic worship in the sense that they understood that the volcano had the 4 elements of creation. You see what I'm saying? Fire, earth, and water. You see what I'm saying? And so, like I said, then and within that, you got the anthropomorphic when you're dealing with the man and the woman, and the primeval mound being the pregnant sister's belly. And then inside, many times you will see newt, and you will see the child is son inside of a son inside the woman's belly. You see what I'm saying? And so that's showing you the different levels. It's showing you the cosmic level. It's showing you the anthropomorphic level. So the Big Bang in that sense is when the man comes to his climax. The primeval mound is the pregnant woman's belly. You see what I'm saying? And so when you deal with we got science in that, But then we also got geography. You got the science of creation, but you also got orientation, because you're seeing that they took the geography of Africa, the mountain region, they took the Nile River, they took the papyrus swamps, and they incorporated all of that so that you would know that the South was the Holy Land. That's the Holy Land to the Egyptians, was up south. They call it Ta-Netaru, the land of the gods and the goddesses. And so you see, they sailed down. They sailed down into Egypt. You see what I'm saying? All the gods. When you look at all the zoo types, they from up south. You understand? All the holy plants is up south. You see what I'm saying? And so you got your cosmic, you got your scientific, and then you got your anthropomorphic, your spiritual. You understand? With you, the goddess, and the God. You know how y'all come and bring life. And so the Big Bang, in the beginning of time, the Big Bang is when, the sun came through the black hole. You understand? Bang. You understand? It was probably more like a boom than a bang. But, then so the sun was born through the black hole. And so the sun, in the instance of anthropomorphic studies, is the SO. And it's also the daughter, too. I don't want to leave that out. And so I had to bring that up. I was talking to my wife that, all the trinities are not God the Father, God the Son, God the Mother, and God the Son. There's also trinities where it's God the Father, the Mother, and the daughter. Okay, and that's most definitely at Nubia. Because if I'm not mistaken, Canaan, Anubis, Anuket, and I forget their daughter. You know what I'm saying? And so you got trinities where it's God the Father, God the Mother, and God the daughter. You understand what I'm saying? There's a trinity in that sense. So I don't want y'all to think, and that's just showing you the balance. You understand of Africa. There's many, different perspectives, spiritual, but all of the perspectives are balanced. So family, that's respects of the volcanoes, the worship of the volcanoes, showing we come up out of East Africa, profoundly displayed in the pyramids, showing our southern origins, and as they say, as in on earth as it is in heaven. On earth as it is in heaven. And so in this respect, the heavens was up south. You understand what I'm saying? And as they seen in the heavens, these divine attributes, they recreated it down in Egypt. You understand what I'm saying? Which is still the Holy Land. All of Africa is holy. And so though that was the Holy Land to the Egyptians, to the rest of the world, Egypt was the Holy Land. You understand what I'm saying? So family, respect to you. Thank you for being here today. We got a lot of videos lined up for this week. I got some hot things on Patreon. Make sure you go check it out. Tomorrow I have a lineup of some of the things that I'm gonna be doing on Patreon. And guaranteed, if y'all see what I'm doing here, I'm giving the family on Patreon so much money. Okay, believe that. I'm gonna get it cranked up to where I can spend much more time there. You know what I'm saying? Because the beast, I even had to take some things out of the video, on earlier with the origins of the Kemetic Holy Spirit. I had to take some things out of there that needed to be in there, but I knew if I would have showed that shit on YouTube, they would have flagged it. And it need to be there. You know what I'm saying? So you get the profound understanding. So family, thank you for being in the house. We be black tomorrow. Don't you goddamn miss it. Subscribe, hit notification, share the videos, because these beasts is blocking me every chance they get, but they cannot stop the bomb rush. All right, family, black pop.